Welcome to Algebra, Chapter 1, Section 8. This is an introduction to equations. There are three classifications for equations. The first is true. An equation is true if the expressions on either side of the equal sign are equal. If you look at this first case, you see that 24 times 18 is 42. Well, likewise, 20 plus 22 is 42. So they're equals. So this is true. The second classification is false. An equation is false if the expressions on either side are not equal. So go ahead and look at this example. 7 times 8 is 56. 56 is not equal to 57. So this equation is false. The third classification is open. An equation is open if it contains a variable and is dependent on the value of the variable. Here's your example. This value is open. It has not yet been solved. So since we do not know what the value of y is at this moment, this is an open equation. If you haven't already done so, take these three classifications and write them in your notes under video 1.8. Please take a moment, pause the video, look at each of these. You do not have to put them in your notes, but see if you can tell which one is true, which one is false, and which one is open. Well, how did you do? If you did not get these correct, back up a slide and rewatch the previous slide. Here's the fourth definition that should be in your notes. Solution. A solution of an equation is the value of a variable that makes the equation true. So for example, x equals 2 is the solution of the equation x plus 3 equals 5 because 2 plus 3 does equal 5. So 2 makes it true. This is a bit of mental math. You do not have to put it in your notes. Just see if you can mentally figure it out. Something plus 8 equals 12. What could that be? If you thought 4, you are correct. The second one is a bit tougher. 8 divided by something equals 10. Now what could 8 be divided by to equal 10? Well, believe it or not, A has to equal 8/10 for this to be true. If you didn't get that mentally, I'm going to work through it algebraically and see if you can see how they got to the answer. To get A by itself, I'm going to multiply both sides by A. And what that does is that's going to cancel this side out, giving me 8 equals 10A. And it got A out of the denominator. Now I'm going to divide by 10. And you'll see I now have A in the numerator where it can be by itself and equal, in this case, a fraction. One way to determine a solution is to use a table. In this case, we want to know what the value of n is when 5 times n plus 8 equals 48. So we're going to put some values in for n. Let's try the value of 2. 5 times 2 plus 8. Well, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 8 is 18. That's a bit small, so let's go a bit bigger. Let's try 5. When n equals 5, 5 times 5 is 25 plus 8. Well, 25 plus 8 is 33. That's getting closer. Let's try 9. 5 times 9 is 45. 45 plus 8 is 53. Well, that's too big. So let's try a little bit smaller. Let's try 8. 5 times 8 is 40. 40 plus 8 is 48. So we know when n equals 8, 5 times n plus 8 will equal 48. So this is our solution. Here's another example. Again, you see I've created a chart or a table to determine the solution of x for when negative 9x minus 5 equals 28. I will try when x equals 2. When x equals 2, negative 9 times 2, well, that's negative 18. Negative 18 minus 5 is going to be negative 23. That's definitely not the right direction, so let's try a negative 2. Negative 9 times negative 2 is positive 18. Positive 18 minus 5 is 13. Well, at least we're positive now, so I'm going to guess it has to be a negative number. Let's try negative 5. Negative 9 times negative 5 is positive 45. Positive 45 minus 5 would be 40. Okay, well, that's a little big, so let's go down a little bit. Let's try negative 4. Negative 9 times negative 4, that's negative 36. I'm sorry, no, become a positive. Positive 36. Positive 36 minus 5 would be positive 31. Okay, we're getting closer. Let's try negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 9 is a positive. Oh, well, wait, that's a positive 27. Positive 27 minus 5 is going to be positive 22. So our value has to be somewhere between these two. That means it's probably going to be a fraction. So let's try negative 3.5. So that's a 3.5. Negative 9 times negative 3.5 would be a positive 7, 8, 29, 30, 31.5 minus 5, which equals a 26.5. Not quite there yet. Not quite there. So we're going to have to go a little bit bigger. I would guess let's try a 3.6. Negative 3.6. And I bet that would get it. But you can see this isn't the best solution. I mean, we can get it between. We know the value of x is going to be between negative 4 and negative 3. But to find that fraction of where it's between, it's going to be a bit on the tough side. So not the best way of doing this, but not a bad way. Now we'll do some more talking about using a table in class. But before you come to class tomorrow, I want you to do a quick review of writing equations. And we've done expressions up to this point, but we haven't actually done equations. So I want you to write an equation for 6 times the sum. Remember, sum is one of those total words for a number, and 5 is. Now this word is means equals 16. And then I'd also like you to write an equation for Josie is 11 years older than, remember what we do with that, Macy. What is the equation that relates the age of Josie and the age of Macy? So pause this video, take a moment, and then I will go ahead and write down what I get as the answers, and you can compare yours to mine. As you can see, I've put my two answers here. 6 times the sum, again, that's a total, of a number, x, and 5 is equals 16. And in the second one, Josie is 11 years older than Macy. So Josie minus 11 is going to equal Macy's age, or Josie is going to equal Macy plus 11 more years. So either one of these would work. As you can see, here are 3 problems I want you to use as a lesson check. And then also I want you to rate yourself on how successful you are in watching this video. Do you understand what an equation is? An open sentence. Remember, there's also a true and false sentence. And a solution is, and how well can you solve an equation? Now, so far, you've only solved an equation using a table or mental math. For the 3 problems I want you to do, you're going to look at this problem, x plus 4 equals 13. And you have to use at least 2 methods, 1, 2, to solve this. So use mental math, and then go ahead and make a table like I did here, and solve it that way. and then tell me which way you prefer and why. See you in class tomorrow.